Hello, and Preeti. Hello, are you there?
Hi, we are here.
Okay, can we start the session? Hello, can we start the session, ma'am?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Definitely.
Okay, Doctor. Rajeshri, you can start the session.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Dr. Deepu. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Rajeshri, and today is the final week of IHMA Season 2 webinar series. And next month onwards, we will be having weekly 2 or 3 seminars. So all of you, please make full use of all the webinars, free webinars available. And now I would like to welcome today's speakers, Dr. Prajakta Vaidya, MD, and Dr. Preeti Shah, BHMS, PG, FHPC. They are the dynamic duo and founders of Healing Harmony, a homeopathic holistic healing initiative. Their approach is multidimensional, and they offer a range of holistic therapies like meditation, yoga, diet, and counseling, along with homeopathic treatment. They also conduct wellness retreats called Karwa to help their clients move from fragments to a whole, working on the mind body spirit dynamics. Insightful and passionate, this duo comes with more than 12 years of practice experience at a couple of clinics in Mumbai, India, and they practice and teach classical homeopathy, Dr. Shankaran's sensation method, and Dr. Mahesh Gandhi's personal evolution method. They regularly conduct workshops and webinars on homeopathy, wellness, and holism in different colleges, schools, and corporates. They also run a study circle called Homeopathic Musings, where homeopaths from different schools come together to share and learn. I welcome both of you and looking forward to a wonderful seminar in behalf of IHMA. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Deepu, Rajshri, and your entire team for having us here today. For those who
Okay.
don't know us, I am Preeti.
I am Prajakta.
And thank you. You guys are doing phenomenal work, bringing all this amazing works of different homeopaths and all this knowledge under one roof. So, um, some phenomenal work by you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, should we get started?
Sure, ma'am.
All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
So, our topic. So, we had a couple of topics in mind, but Deepu kindly, refined those topics, because whatever we were suggesting, he was like, "Arey, this we have already covered. This we have already covered." So we finally came to this topic of rare remedies. It just kind of shows the amazing work these guys are doing, but also that so much refinement and fine tuning happens, Um, and in our quest for similimum and for success in our practice, and to heal our patients, uh, we are often, I mean, our objective is to hit the bullseye, but sometimes we are not able to do that, isn't it? And even if we are not able to do that, even if we are close by, we get results, and the patient is happy and we are happy. But the more we grow in practice and the more we retrospectively study and introspect our growth as homeopaths and our growth as healers, more and more we try to refine ourselves and try to hit the bullseye. And our way of doing is this PQRS, yeah, peculiar, cure, rare, and strange. So while we are eliciting those PQRS from patients, the PQRS from ourselves also manifests outside, and we also start looking at the PQRS in our materia medica. Yeah, and that's how these rare remedies or lesser known remedies uh, come into picture. Yeah, a big disclaimer that when we are talking about rare remedies, these often look like very fancy prescriptions. Yeah, but majority of our practice is based on strong basic foundations. Yeah, so we cannot ignore our phosphoruses and lycopodiums and sulfurs and pulsatilas. Our practice is based on that. But as and when we grow in our practice, the more case taking you do, the more number of patients you see, you start refining yourselves, and then you start finding these rare jewels of homeopathy. Okay, so with that disclaimer, we are going to do a few cases and just try and share some rare remedies with you all today. Okay, if any time you have any questions, just put it on the chat and we'll be happy to answer. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Prajakta.
So let's start with the case. It's a case of PCOS and a menorrhagia. Hmm? So she was a 19-year-old girl, came to us with the complaints of heavy bleeding, and the sonography confirmed that she had PCOS, and she was initially on hormonal treatment with partial relief since 2 years. Her periods were irregular and they come after every 3 months and they last for over a month. Also, there is a spotting in the first week and heavy bleeding will start from the second week onwards. So by the time the next period comes, her periods are on. Though the bleeding is painless, but there is lot of mood swings, stress and weight gain along with this. So we asked her as a her nature basically. So what we observed was she'd come with the mother. She's studying in mechanical engineering in BITS Pilani. Okay, so as we know, it's one of the top technology colleges in India. Okay, so during the first consultation, the mother spoke more for the patient, and patients seemed very shy but smart. So these were our observations. Then we asked about her to describe. She said, I am a soft spoken person. I listen to people, but I put my opinion as well. I'm very emotional. Small things affects me a lot. When somebody tells me something bad, I overthink on it. Why did they tell me like this? What was their intention? I am very sensitive to this. And the mother adds, she worries about her studies also a lot. Very conscious about her health and weight. And because of this excessive bleeding, she doesn't feel energetic and can't even exercise. And she continues to say, I overthink and I'm very sensitive for all these things. Then we asked about her sensitivity to talk more about it. So she says, if somebody tells me something, I overthink. I keep stressing myself. And I'm very sensitive to this pain. I feel bad for animals when they suffer. If somebody is sad, I try talking to them more. I stay in hostel. So if my roommate is crying, I try to please her, make her feel happy, and I want to help her as much as I can. But I cannot express this much about myself. I keep all the sorrows or the sadness within myself. Hmm? So what we saw here was sensitivity, right? Sensitivity of these things affecting her. Yeah. Then we asked about,
But at this stage, we don't know if
Yeah.
this sensitivity is coming from which kingdom. Yeah, is it a plant sensitivity or it's a sensitivity of somebody or someone who's very, very less developed? Yeah, on the left side of the, maybe the periodic table, or is it because she's a plant and she's very sensitive? We don't know that yet. Yeah, or maybe she's a mollusk, for example, and is very sensitive. We don't know that yet, but she's sensitive. Hmm?
Then we went further ahead and asked her about herself. She said, I love to be independent. I love my hostel life a lot. Why? Because we are bosses there. We are not answerable to anyone. Okay. So we were, we were very surprised to get this from her because our first observation was very shy. She was not talking much. Mother was talking more about herself. So we were a little surprised, but we kept this in our mind. And then we asked further. What she meant was sitting at home is wasting of time. So she also added all these things like, sitting at home is wasting time. I like to do different things. At home for lunch and dinner, we must wait for everyone. But at the hostel, we manage our timing according to our wish. And in a hostel, we are not bound to anybody else for anything. So I like to manage my time, my own time, and not waste anything. So the hostel and the independence are connected. So she is not only, she doesn't like to get dependent or more is, be independent.
And this independent is also not of a teenager person, no, who wants independence, who wants freedom, who doesn't want to abide by rules. No, she's in fact saying that I want to manage my time. I want to be more disciplined. At home, I have to look at other people's time and adjust. I will waste my time. But this is very peculiar for a 19 years old girl. Yeah, that she wants to be in hostel because there is a strict schedule, there is a timetable, and there is no wastage of time. So this also is something that is important to this person.
Yeah. Then she mentioned that she likes to learn new things. I like when I get new ideas. And nowadays, because she was on home on vacation, she's studying different musical instruments like Casio and keyboards. Yeah, so she likes music. She's the idea of learning new things gives an hint of creativity to us. Yeah. Then we asked about why she has chosen music because it was giving an creative angle of her personality. She adds to improve my memory. So this was also very surprising, which was coming from a teenager. She explained because
No, not teenage. Anybody who says that I chose to learn music because I want to improve my memory. This is very, very PQRS, isn't it?
She explained because playing a Casio will improve my finger coordination, which in turn affects my nerve cells to improve my memory. Yeah. So the reason behind was to sharpening her intellectual skills or a memory, right? Most of the people what they just do it for fun or they because they like it or like a hobby, but her reason was something very different. And she also adds that I'm very ambitious girl, hard worker by nature, completely dedicated to my work, which I take in hand. I like designing machines, love to learn more about machines and its technology. I'm always curious to learn new things. New challenges excite me a lot. Yeah. Then we asked her about what motivates her to work so hard. She said, for me, my performance is far more important than my results. Sometimes I feel my confidence is very low. My grades are not as great as my peers. So something is lacking in me, but I want to give my 100% and work harder each time. Yeah. So the more focus is on her lacking something in her, and then if what she wants to do is to improve. Yeah. So main the keywords over here are like work, design, learn, challenges, technology, performance. Right till now, what we have seen. Also, she adds, I'm very optimistic person. I don't lose hope easily. I always keep trying. I have been to several gynecologists. So for her complaints also, she's done a lot of things. I have read a lot about my condition, and she's done a lot of research about it. And I know that I may have some problems in conceiving, which worries me. What is going to happen in the future? And I feel incomplete if I'm not able to perform my responsibilities well as a woman. Yeah? So here, what the themes were coming was of incomplete, yeah, responsibilities, research, guilty, feeling guilty about it, yeah.
So by now, all of us are, I'm sure most of us are together. We are thinking on similar lines of where to look for a remedy, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll just look at the chat window a little bit. So Kali group. Okay, very good. So we are saying that we are talking about a mineral, and we are also saying that we are looking at somewhere in the left side of the mineral chart, isn't it? Yes. So Dr. Shilata is also saying a similar thing. So some fair idea we are getting of where to look for this person's remedy. Okay.
Then we asked her about fear. So our case taking doesn't stop here. So we want to know more about her, you know, so that we are very sure of what we are thinking. So we asked about her fear. She said dark. I fear losing people. I get attached to people very easily. I feel bad if they go away. They should not go away. I don't talk to everyone. I'm a bookworm, but the people I'm close with should be in touch with me. They should not go away. Some friends are not in touch with me, so I think I lack something. I feel guilty that I did not keep in touch with them. Yeah? Then, so again, we spoke about relationships. She spoke about relationship and lacks and guilt. We asked more about herself. She says, my confidence is very low. I'm a good listener, but I cannot express much. And then we asked, are you more emotional or more logical? I am emotional, but also calculate. This was her answer. I will think and analyze everything, and I'm a logical person. So, what do you like in nature? So, we asked her about it. So, she said, I like nature a lot. I like animals, I like water, hills, flowers, birds. I like to travel to natural places. I like all the animals like dogs and cats. I don't like insects, flying insects, but I can't kill them. I like fishes. Which animal do you like the most? Yes, dogs. What about dogs that you like? She said they are very good at heart. They will never betray you. They are very loyal and very cute. Yeah. So we asked about all these things, but we didn't find any energy to this. It was just a general answers of what she likes in the nature. Yeah. So we went ahead and asked her hobbies. So she said, I like playing keyboard, traveling, I like music, and I like to listen old songs. And then there were some physical generals, like she like curd, lemon, is very thirsty, appetite is good, and sleep generally doesn't have any complaints.
So if you see, overall, this is the history that we were able to elicit for this patient. Now, in case taking, it's important that where the focus or where the energy of the patient goes. Just because the patient said, I really love dogs, doesn't mean that you're going to give that patient lack care, isn't it? There was not energy over there. The overall general theme in whichever spheres we had kind of scanned was about the mineral kingdom. Yeah, she spoke a lot of sensitivity, but her chief issue was of lacking something. And then what was she doing? Because she was lacking something, her effort was to overcome it. She spoke about her ability, she spoke about her performance. She also said that more than the result, her performance, her effort is something that is more important to her. Yeah, all of us are here together. All of us are on the same page here. Yeah. So most of us are saying some mineral remedy. Okay. Now we're talking about hitting the bullseye. Okay. So we are talking that just because you think it's a reptile, you don't end up giving her that person lachesis. We're talking about, okay, this is mineral kingdom, but where in mineral kingdom is this patient? Okay. So let's go further. For us, although she is sensitive, although she's on the left hand side of the chart, although she spoke a little bit about her relationships, Although she said I lack confidence, but her main issue was about, I mean, the main theme, or the main energy, or the crux of the case was about learning new things. You need to understand that she wants to, I mean, she's a girl. She comes from a, I mean, we didn't give you this information. She comes from a Marwadi family. The mother wears the gungat, and she's learning mechanical engineering in one of the, you know, the most difficult, you know, it's difficult to get admission in BITS Pilani. Yeah, so she is independent, she's ambitious, she wants to achieve her dreams, and she's talking so much about her skills. She's talking why she wants to play the keyboard, so that she can refine her memory, and that memory is going to help her become a better mechanical engineer. She's talking about designing machines. So this super specialization, this refining of skills is something that is very, very important. And this gives us the hint of silver series or row 5. Yeah, all of y'all with us? Now, if she is row 5, and let's say the main theme of the issue, or the main theme of this case is in row 5, which remedy? Row 5 means not just argentum nitricum. Yeah, row 5 means not just palladium. Row 5 is not just iodine. Row 5 is not just strontium. These are the remedies that we know. But what is something in this patient is something peculiar, no? There are no, I mean, there is issues of row 5, but which row 5? She's saying effort is more important. Has she reached the peak? Has she achieved? So you know, so row 5 is about creativity and performance. All of us, you know, we are going with the premise that we know the basics of the periodic table, and we are talking about row 5, which is to do with creativity and performance. And then we are saying that there are 18 columns. And when we say, when we go from the left hand side to the right hand side of the periodic table, there is a peak at column 10, where the patient is getting developed, reaches the peak of something, and then there is slowly a decline. So if we are talking about this graph, where is this patient? Is the patient before column 10 or after column 10? Let's see some chats. Yes, so before column. So Dr. Beena is saying 8th column, but there are few others who said before. So this patient is definitely before. Now, which before? We'll have to now study that. Okay. So now the patient said she loves challenges, and she said she is very determined. Although she lacks confidence, although she said she is shy, cannot express herself, she wants to overcome. She's determined and is daring to be independent. And this indicates column 6. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about this in a little detail with you guys. So I'll just open this another presentation and just show you. Let's see. So we know that this is row 5. And then let's study a little bit about the columns of the row 5. Column 1 and 2, that is rubidium and strontium, this person's lack the capacity to explore the new, or to be creative, or to be performing. They're always dependent on someone. Is this patient like that? Is she completely dependent? No, she's not. So she's definitely not column 1 and column 2. Then if you see, the next is yttrium, zirconium, niobium, and molybdenum. They start developing the capacity to perform and explore the new. Yeah. So looks like that the patient is somewhere here. So we narrow down to column 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where this patient is somehow. Now, when you read further in the 3, 4, 5, 6, let's study this a little bit. What is column 3? They are doubtful. Can I go into something new? Can I learn? Can I create? Do I want this or that? There's a lot of confusion. No? Did you see that in this patient? The column 3's main theme is confusion. Did you see that in this patient? Not so much. So we rule out column 3. Let's study column 4, zirconium, starting to go into something new, to create something. They start off but are unsure about their ability, unsteady to face the challenges in making proper decisions. The patient is just a little bit more developed than this. Let's study niobium. Niobium alternates in doubts about going into something new. Goes ahead, comes back. Does not feel prepared enough, as if the foundations are not strong enough. Not yet, not the bullseye. Now just read this molybdenum. Molybdenum has to prove, and it is a challenge to go into something new, to learn, to create, or to perform. I'm here. Yeah, there is a risk in it. They know it is a little risky, but they still go ahead and do it. There is a feeling of uncertainty, but there is no need for guidance. These people keep trying in different ways. They keep changing and also adapting to changes. Yeah, her learning the keyboard is also her way to see that whatever she's lacking in confidence, or that she's not, her scores are not as good as her peers, she's trying to cope up and trying to see that how she can increase her memory and how she can get better at it. So this is the bullseye. Yeah, this is not just that yellow zone, but this is the similin. Yeah, let's go back to this presentation. So molybdenum is a metal. It is used to harden steel to make it resistant to repeated strains. Just see. Why? What is molybdenum used for? To harden the steel, to make it more resistant to repeated strains. And it is a solid lubricant. So this woman is about those challenges. Try. My effort is more important than the result. Okay. And then if you read from Sholtin, you see all this. The main essence is creativity, and you combine that creativity with challenge. Then you come to molybdenum. Yeah. So creativity is a challenge. Having to face the challenge by themselves, proving that they can show their ideas, feeling forced to be creative, having to prove yourself so that you are admired. Yeah, forced to do something but afraid to fail. They are very careful. Okay. And then if you see in the generals, there is location left sided. They are overweight. This patient also had issues with weight. And if you see food, there is craving for buttermilk. This patient had desired for curd. And also there is menses profuse. Okay. So it kind of covered everything. All right. So these are some follow-ups. The patient immediately reacted. Within 1 month, we were able to see. When she came to us, her menses were still ongoing for the last 1 month. Immediately, the bleeding stopped after a few days once the medicine was started. She got her menses then, on 31st of July. They lasted only for 7 days. 6 months, the menses were almost regular by now. They last for 5 days now. Her mood swings are better. After 1 year also, the periods have become much more regular. Her weight has reduced, her confidence has improved, and she's currently, again, I mean, she generally comes and meets us when she's on a vacation, when she's back home. So when she was again here in her 1 year follow-up, and she was learning to drive, and and she's appearing for campus interviews very confidently. Yeah. So we started her with molybdenum 30. We increased up to 200, and she received some infrequent doses. And this is, if you see in the left side, June 2018, if you see, there are bilateral polycystic ovaries, and the details are over here. Multiple small follicles are noted in both the ovaries. And if you see in this May 2019 sonography, everything is normal. There are no more polycystic ovaries. Okay, so we wanted to just kind of share with you guys molybdenum. So don't just be happy with argentum nitricum. If you're confident it is rho5, try to refine and find the PQRS of the patient and of the materia medica that you have. Okay. Are there any questions on this before we move forward? Okay, so potency we said 30 and 200. All right. Okay. So now we'll do, now that we are talking about Rophi and we're talking about the Mineral Kingdom, we thought we'll share some other hidden gems of some other rare remedies from the periodic table a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So another case of breast cancer, 62 years, who diagnosed with breast cancer, and past she operated for hysterectomy, and she was suffering from cervical cancer initially. So it was a relapse, but this time was a breast cancer. Then so she was diagnosed and she was on chemotherapy and radiation. She's been through all those cycles. The main issue after that was extreme acidity. Like these chemotherapy sessions were, she was in middle of it, and that time the extreme acidity was the main complaint with the patient came. Also, she had several loose motions even after normal PET scan. And
She's known, I mean, she has very, very hypersensitivity. Allopathic medicines don't suit her. So her main worry, more than the cancer, was that how am I going to go through this whole drill of chemo and radio and everything that was being planned for her, as in the coming weeks. So that was her main thing that she came to us for.
Yeah. So when she came, she advised breast removal, and she was in the middle of these chemo cycles. Also, the radiation was performed for her. Yeah. So when she came to us with the Banerjee protocol, we started these remedies for a cancer patient. So phytolacca 202 doses daily, carcinosin 30 we were giving her per week, and uranium nitricum 30 before and during the chemo cycles.
So we thought we'll just introduce this remedy, uranium nitricum, to you guys. And in our practice, we have been using it for quite some time now. And for all our cancer patients going through chemo cycles, we prescribed uranium nitricum, and it has given us very, 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 very good results. Yeah, this is something that you must try. Okay. Along with uranium nitricum, should I continue this? This patient, so I'll talk about uranium nitricum in a bit. Now, once this patient's surgery was performed and the radio was given to this patient developed seroma, which was absolutely not healing. This is like a much better shaped seroma, but it was really pus-filled and painful and bleeding, etc. Okay, and basically the patient had to do dressings daily. So initially they used to go out and get the dressing done. They started doing the dressing at home at a later period, but then it became like very troublesome. Yeah, it was not resolving, it was not healing. They gave many antibiotics, a lot of treatment was done. Finally the surgeons told her that this will need to be operated once again, because this is not healing. It has been quite many months now already. We gave, so while the patient was on her constitutional medicine, after the chemo cycles, we stopped that uranium nitricum and the Banerjee protocol remedies, and then she was put on her constitutional therapy. But this is something that even the constitutional remedy was not taking care of. Okay, so we gave her radium brom 30 frequent doses, and then if you see, this is the only thing that helped, and the seroma completely dried. It was at the site of the surgery. So this is another remedy, especially for your cancer patients, that you can keep handy. Yeah, we'll study this remedies a little bit. So uranium nitricum is in the 7th row. Yeah, you all must have heard. It is the heaviest naturally occurring element on Earth. It has 92 protons in its nucleus. Okay, it is weakly radioactive because all the isotopes of uranium are unstable. It is an abundant source of concentrated energy. So what happens is, our normal fossil fuels, it needs oxygen. Only then it can generate fuel, or it can generate, uh, uh, the reaction. But in uranium, atoms can be made to split or fission to release heat. So that is why they have lot of abundant concentrated energy. 1 pound of uranium yields as much as 1.4 million kilogram, that is 3 million pounds of coal. That is the comparison of energy that uranium can generate. Yeah. It is used for mainly, you all must be knowing, it is used as a fuel in nuclear power reactors, okay, for electricity generation. I mean, basically it is responsible for providing 14% of world's electricity. But if you see, it has medicinal uses. Radioisotopes are used for diagnosis and research. Radio diagnosis can be used to detect diseases by injecting certain radio elements. So uranium is also used in all these chemotherapies and all these radiations and all this radio diagnosis that is being performed in modern medicine. So we have to think that there will be some connection between uranium and all these treatments and the diagnostic procedures that our patients go through. Also, we know that, I mean, exposure to a lot of uranium can also be in a way carcinogenic. So there is a strong relationship between uranium and cancers. There's a beautiful proving by Dr. Sujit Chatterjee on uranium nitricum. And some common words that came out in the proving are heaviness, overloading, weakness, tiredness, drained. Aren't these the common symptoms that come out during for cancer patients, especially who go through chemo? Then there is a lot of exhaustion, tremendous pressure, social pressure. The news comes suddenly. There's themes of religiousness, praying, cancer, major illness. All of these things that are associated with cancer, they all came out in the proving. So there's a lot of religious themes that came up, lot of responsibility. Suddenly you get diagnosed with cancer, you start planning for your family, you start planning, for your finances, you start feeling responsible, right? There was a lot of sense of heaviness and lightness, old age and terminal diseases like cancer, weakness, confined to and letting loose, and all these other things that came up. Also, if you just see in maybe any basic, Ken's Borix or Fatak, anywhere you want to look at the physical symptoms also. You will see themes of lot of ulcers and vomiting and gastric vomiting, all of that will come in. In generalities, you will see a lot of emaciation and weakness and, marasmus that comes. So this is a remedy that we just wanted to introduce to all of you all, that you must think in cases like that. Another keynote symptom of uranium nitricum is excessive urination, and hence it's also indicated in patients with the diabetes. So a lot of sugar in the urine, excessive urine is another keynote of uranium nitricum. Okay. Similarly, radium brom, just a little bit about radium bromide. It's basically produced during the process of separating radium from uranium ore. Okay. Like all the other radium compounds, it is highly radioactive and very toxic. Due to its chemical similarity to calcium, radium tends to accumulate in the bones, where it irradiates the bone marrow and can cause anemia, leukemia, sarcoma, bone cancers, and all of those things. Yeah, radium and radium salts are commonly used in treating cancers and in our diagnostics. Yeah, just look at Fatak's generality. Effects of X-ray burns. Yeah, and this patient that we were talking about, that seroma, was a side effect or an injury and an effect that was caused due to the radiation. Radium bromide is found effective in skin affections, rheumatism, and gout. Nerves are affected, causing suddenly shifting or electrical pains. Okay, so this was our quick bit about some other rare remedies in the periodic table. Okay. So let's see what are the comments or anything. No, so radium brom was not the constitutional remedy. The constitutional remedy for this patient was lax suis, basically pig. But that was not helping her serum. In general, her recovery from the whole thing was amazing, but it was not helping the seroma at all. Okay. We wanted to now share with you another case, just taking this theme a little bit forward, so that we can talk about rare remedies a little bit. Let's do this case a little bit more in detail, and let's see how this goes. Okay. Dr. Deepu, or
Yeah,
how much
I'm here.
time do we have?
You have more time. No time limit for this session.
Okay, so we'll do this case a little bit in a detail. It's
Yeah.
one of our very beautifully solved cases, not just the remedy, but also the case itself. The case taking and the process is beautiful. So just be with us on this. Okay.
So case of depression. So 30 years male. He came with complaints, basically loss of interest in daily activities, and very difficult, to have a concentration and the work. So basically, in 30 years, he's feeling that he doesn't want to work or he doesn't want to do anything, and he's just left his job because of all these complaints and does not want to start anything new. He's not even looking for new opportunity. His family is also concerned because he's the earning member, but he doesn't have any ambition left. So we started asking him, what is something that is bothering you the most? So he mentioned, recently I've left my job, and since then I don't feel like working at all. And about that, what was his reason to leave the job was very silly. He mentioned that I can't take domination. And my boss kept on saying things, and I wanted to answer him back. No, I know he thinks, I know he's foolish and he can just insult me because I am his employee. So he can't just take the domination. His boss keeps on saying this or that or blah blah many things. So give it back, but he can't do because he's just insult gives you money which he didn't want to take. Yeah. I don't like the difference between the rich and the poor that these bosses or these dominating people do. And this is happening all over the world. So I don't want to waste my life in such kind of experiences or the circumstances. So he just left the job. So we asked, there's so much of energy related to it and very, very peculiar, very silly reason also. So we asked, what happens if something like this is happening, the situation? He said, I can't take insults. He can't do his work because he's rich. And just because I'm poor and he has money, I can't take everything what he's asked me to do. I want to work on my way. I don't like if he pressurizes me to do things as per his mind. So I'm not looking for work now because mostly it happens like that. I don't want to work under somebody. I know I need money. My family can't survive without it, but I'm just avoiding it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but because of this issue. Yeah, but I feel it so strongly that I can't do anything. But at the same time, I want to change this. I want to change this in the entire world. What is happening this, and I'm very stubborn in this way of my thinking. So very say I get very angry if this kind of injustice comes. So this injustice I can't see. If I'm working somewhere and if employees, not only for me, but if other employees are also getting harassed, then I can't see it. I want to do something. Hence, I can't stay at one place in work. If some senior rules me, then I can't take it. I know what he's talking makes no sense. He's foolish. But because he's senior, I can't say anything. I have to do it. Then I can't say anything. So I get very angry. There's a lot of anger inside me. And if I remove that anger on anybody, then it will be too explosive. It's like a volcano. And then we were surprised because there's anger, and he gave the analogy or the expression, the perception of this anger as a volcano. So we forget about the anger and talk about this volcano. He said, I don't like interacting with people. I don't want to make friends. I can't do what others say. So I'm in my work. I can't stay in shops, can't reach on time to my work. So my boss telling me anything, I can't take it. So then I don't want to do anything, and I just keep thinking, keep moving these things in circles. And we ask, what happens? I can't control myself. I get very angry. I have rage within me. I have some storm within me. And that storm will destroy countries and countries. Yeah, that was his anger and his perception about this
Intensity, she's telling the storm, and this storm will destroy countries, all of them.
We'll just go through the video of it.
So let's see. This video is in Hindi. I hope Hindi everybody is able to grasp, but just see a little bit of the video and then you'll be able to understand. Yeah. So we have the consent of this patient to be, so that this video is shown. But please respect the confidentiality of this patient. If you know him, please make sure you don't go and tell this to him or discuss about him. Be sensitive, be professional, and respect that we are sharing this video on a public forum like this. Okay?
मतलब देखता हूँ कि कुछ इनजस्टिस है, ठीक है, तो जाके मतलब मुझे नहीं पता क्या करूँ, लेकिन कुछ बहुत बड़ा करूँ.
So look at the hand gestures, so much anger, and I don't know what I will do, but कुछ बहुत बड़ा करूँ, like I'll do something big.
जैसे भी कुछ दिनों पहले मैं पार्क में था, तो वहाँ एक कपल था, तो उनको सिक्योरिटी ने पकड़ा और फिर उनको जलील किया, मतलब पब्लिकली उनको उठक बैठक करवाई. तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा और मुझे लगा कि मैं जाके मतलब फाड़ दूँ इन लोगों को, क्योंकि पब्लिक जमा हो रही है, एक लड़का एक लड़की कान पकड़ के उठक बैठक कर रहा है. तो मुझे बहुत उससे गुस्सा आया और मैं उसको देखते रहा और फिर मैं बोला कुछ करूँ या नहीं करूँ. तो फाइनली मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. ये हर बार हो गया, जैसे मैं कहीं जॉब कर रहा हूँ.
You're able to understand the video, right? Can one of you confirm you're able to hear what the patient is saying?
Ma'am, the participants are able to understand, ma'am.
I'm sorry? You're able to understand, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So here, for those people who don't understand Hindi, he's telling that he was in a park and he saw that there was a couple, there was a boy and girl, and they were displaying affection in public, and that is why one of the official, like police official, caught that couple, and then they were humiliated. That official, that person, the police officer, was humiliating that couple for behaving maybe inappropriately in public. And this guy is feeling that I felt so much anger that मुझे ऐसे लगा कि मैं फाड़ दूं जाके means literally translates into
Destroy.
I want to kind of destroy or tear it apart, something like that. So much anger I felt. Oops.
जैसे मैं कहीं जॉब कर रहा हूँ, तो वहाँ जबरदस्ती दूसरे एम्प्लॉय पे भी कोई समझो कोई कुछ कर रहा है, तो मुझे लगता है अभी मैं इसकी वार रहा हूँ, क्यों जबरदस्ती उसको वो कर रहा हूँ. और मैं बीच में पढ़ के, लेकिन फिर मैं अपना इंटेलेक्ट लेके आता हूँ और उस सिचुएशन को मेरे अंदर ही दबा देती हूँ. वो कभी किसी पे अगर मुझे वही कर रहा है, निकल पड़ा तो किसी सिंगल व्यक्ति पे इतना बड़ा लावा अगर चला गया तो कुछ भी हो सकता है। मुझे वो क्या
So if you followed this, he's saying that he gave another example of the office, that something like that. So I feel so much angry that I keep suppressing it inside. I'm keeping it inside, and then if it comes out one day, I wonder what will happen if all this lava comes on one person. What will happen to that one person? Look at the words that he's using, look at the gestures that he's using. Yeah.
Little more about this.
जैसा अभी मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है, डर लग रहा है, मुझे लग रहा है मैं रोऊं जोर से या निकालूं उसको।
क्या सेंसेशन हो रहा है इन दिस मोमेंट?
सब होगा पूरा मैं अंदर से पकड़ लिया खुद को, जैसे मेरी आत्मा या तो सिकुड़ गई है या उसने कोई अंदर कोना खोज दिया है जो ऐसी सिचुएशन में जाके वो वहाँ छुप जाती है, बैठ जाती है।
इस मोमेंट में क्या अनुभव हुआ?
मुझे तो डर लगा।
Describe this feeling.
What is happening is, we asked him, what bring this experience in this moment. So now it's not something imaginary. He's not telling about the past or the future. He is experiencing all of this in the moment. At some point he will close his eyes. See the whole phenomenal soul inside me, which is hiding, and everything is shaking, and I'm feeling I don't know what, as if कुछ पकड़ लिया है, कुछ जकड़ लिया है, as if something is caught inside, and I don't know what is happening.
जैसे एक बच्चा है तो किसी दीवार के पीछे छुपा है और वो देख जो और वो चाहता है बहुत कुछ करना, वो कुछ नहीं करता, बस देख।
क्या है उसका अनुभव?
वो डरा हुआ है, इसीलिए वो छुपा है और वो फिर से छुप रहा है और फिर से देख रहा है। उसे लग रहा है वो जगह से ठीक कर दे, लेकिन वो जानता है कि होगा नहीं।
What is physically क्या अनुभव हो रहा है अभी?
फिजिकली सिकुड़ गया है अंदर से, सब कड़क हो गया है।
So he's giving an image, he's giving an image or a visualization that the fear is like as if it's a child who is hiding behind a wall, and he's seeing and then he's hiding again, and he's seeing and then he's hiding again, and he's really scared, he doesn't know what to do. And because it is still an imagination, it is still a visual, it is still maybe at the level of delusion. So then to kind of precipitate it in the moment, the question was, what is the experience in your body at the moment? So then he's saying in the body as if it has become very tight.
ये जो हिस्सा है इसमें अंदर से खुद को जोर से पकड़ लिया।
Hold, and from the chest to the abdomen, and as if something is held inside very tightly. That is what.
सिकुड़ गया। एक फैलाव को जैसे दबा देती है, प्लास्टिक थैली को कैसे दबा पेपर को लट्टू में बांध दो किसी पेपर को, फिर उसको छोड़ दो तो वो कैसे होता है, जैसे पेपर का वैसे नहीं
Something
रहता।
which is expanded, and now you're suppressing it and putting it in a form of a tight ball. It is tight and suppressed like that, as if you kind of crush a paper, the paper will be crushed like that. Then even if you expand the paper later, it's not going to be as expanded as before. It will still be crushed and closed like that.
वो थोड़ा सा ही खुलेगा, तो हर बार वो सिकुड़ के और छोटा कर देते हैं। हर बार हो ही रही है दुनिया में ना, जैसे गाड़ी वाला एक ऑटो वाले को मार रहा है तो भी वो बाहर आता है, वो फिर से छूटा है।
So every time it's getting smaller and smaller. He's getting more and more small, more and more tight, more and more suppressed inside. And with every incident, it goes further inside. So he gave an example. If a car driver hits an auto rickshaw wala, see the example that he's giving. Again, in injustice, somebody is going in a four-wheel. There is a fight, and he goes and hits an auto rickshaw wala who's an underprivileged person. Then also it feels angry, and then it goes further inside.
ये आप जो हाथ से कर रहे फिर से करो, क्या आप कर रहे हो? What you were doing? जो कर रहे हैं just be वहाँ पे अपना पूरा फोकस करो। क्या फील हो रहा है जब आप सिकुड़ जाना बोल रहे हो?
वो सिकुड़ रहा है मेरे भीतर से और सिकुड़ रहा है।
इसका उसको थोड़े वर्ड्स दीजिए। क्या अब देखिए अपने हाथों को, जिस सीख वो सिकुड़ रहा है, खुल नहीं पा रहा है और छोटा हो रहा है, प्लास्टिक what is happening? फिर से कीजिए अपने जो टेम्पल्स में what happens?
नहीं आ रहा।
Try to be with the energy, with the hand gesture. Give more words to it. Just see, give all your energy to here, and then see what comes up. But then he loses it. I mean, we are not able to hold him there, and he says, "No, I can't feel anything."
और क्या चेंजेस होते हैं बॉडी में? अभी क्या हो रहा है हाथ में, पैरों में, बैक में? व्हाट हैपेंस इन दैट मोमेंट? उस क्षण में क्या होता है?
उस क्षण में मतलब फिर वो डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश करता है। जैसे अभी मैंने सर खुजाया है तो कुछ खुजाएगा, यहाँ खुजाएगा, कुछ और सोचने लगेगा, सोचेगा छोड़ अपने को क्या करना है, किसी हैप्पी मोमेंट के बारे में सोचता है, या फिर सोचता है चलो कहीं।
He's himself explaining us the case study process that I was trying to be here, but then my mind has come back and I'm back in my thoughts, and I started itching here, and then forget about this, let me think about something happy. Why to stress so much on it? So this is denial. No, it is our mind's tendency to not experience that energy. So often the patients will also try to kind of divulge or divert, but this person himself is in awareness, and he's very cooperative, and he is in this process, in this journey with us. Yeah, so he realizes that he himself is right.
So right now, don't divert.
Okay.
Experience this moment.
यहाँ ना दिल के पास बहुत भारी सी चीज आ जाती है, और वो हर अनुभव के साथ और भारी होती जाती है। धड़कन बहुत ज्यादा जोरों से धड़कने लगती है, मुट्ठियाँ बंद होती है, फिर खुल जाती है। सर जो है वो भी सिकुड़ जाता है, छोटा हो जाता है सर, मतलब तनाव में होता है शायद। तो जो भी नसें या जो भी होगा अंदर, तो वो बीच में जैसे किसी ने पत्थर बांध दिया, और उस पत्थर को ये रस्सियों का सहारा था हर जगह से, और वो पत्थर ऐसे फिट था, लेकिन सडनली वो रस्सियों का सहारा टूट गया, तो पत्थर लटक रहा है कुछ रस्सियों के सहारे। अब वो ना गिर रहा है, लेकिन उसकी जो ओरिजिनल सिचुएशन की जो बैलेंस वहाँ से वो जुड़ गया, तो वो बीच में लटक रहा है कुछ और रस्सियों के साथ। वो ना नीचे गिरेगा पत्थर तो वो वहीं रहेगा। फिर जब कोई और सिचुएशन आएगी फिर एक पत्थर गिरेगा, तो सारे पत्थर यहाँ जमा और भारी होते दिल में। तो ऐसा नहीं है मेरे साथ ही कुछ होता है तो ट्रेन में कुछ हो रहा है, तो सड़क पे कुछ हो रहा है, तो कहीं भी कुछ हो रहा है, तो टीवी में कुछ हो रहा है, तो न्यूज चैनल पे कुछ हो रहा है। तो
So you're following this, right? What he's saying is that here in my chest, he closed his eyes and he said, here in my chest, I'm feeling heaviness, as if something very heavy has been kept. And then he says that as if you imagine that there are threads and there is a stone hanging with the thread, and that hanging is happening here at my chest level. And maybe there are some other threads that is kind of attached with this stone. And that stone is not sitting on my chest. I mean, it's not kind of, it does not hit the ground. It is hanging. So that heaviness is felt. And then with each incident, there is another stone that gets on. So more heaviness gets added. Then another stone gets on. Then more heaviness gets added. You see this phenomena. This is so beautiful what he is saying. And then he says, not just with me. I don't feel it only when it happens with me. If I'm going in train and something happens in train, I feel that also. If I see something on television, on news channel, if I see something wrong that is happening, then also that heaviness increases. Yeah. So see this, what is happening.
दो दोस्तों के बीच में कुछ हो रहा है और हम समझ पा रहे हैं, लेकिन हम कुछ कर नहीं पा रहे। ऐसे बहुत से तो हर सिचुएशन में बोला होता है, पता नहीं इसकी क्षमता कितनी है, मैं नहीं जानता।
लटक रहा है और ऊपर से और स्टोन आ रहा है, क्या बोलता है तो
भारीपन है ना, पूरा हैवी कर देता है शरीर को और सारा वजन जो है यहाँ छाती पे मतलब बड़ा बड़ा होता है और बहुत बड़ा हो चुका है और बड़ा होता है। पता नहीं इसकी क्षमता कितनी है, मैं नहीं जानता। लेकिन वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि वो पता नहीं जिस दिन वो निकलेगा वो कुछ भी कर जाता है, क्या मुझे नहीं पता। फिजिकली किसी का मर्डर कर देगा या मेंटली, जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि पूरी की पूरी कंट्री को खत्म कर देगा। तो
follow that. Now this heaviness is increasing, and it is already increased, and it is getting more increased. So one day will come that it will just all come out, and then I don't know what is going to be the outcome. Maybe I will go and murder somebody, or maybe I will just destroy an entire nation. I don't know what is going to be the outcome of it, but it is increasing.
इस भारीपन को और कोई शब्द देना हो तो डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए, भारीपन के अलावा व्हाट एल्स?
in terms of medical बोले तो एंजाइटी, स्ट्रेस वैसा सब
नहीं, मेडिकल आप क्या नहीं?
जैसे हम सोए हैं, कोई सपना देख रहे हैं, वो खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है और हमारे हाथ है छाती पे, तो वो शायद आपको वो अनुभव होगा, वो छाती पे जब हाथ होते हैं और वो बहुत भारी होते हैं, हाथ हमारे ही होते हैं। तो मैं जानता भी हूँ कहीं ना कहीं सबकॉन्शियसली कि इसको कैसे निकालना है। ऐसा भी मुझे लगता है कि मुझे पता है कि ये इतना बड़ा इशू नहीं है कि मैं जानता हूँ कि कोई लड़ रहा है किसी से, तो मेरा कोई कंसर्न नहीं है उनसे, तो मैं जबरदस्ती का ये सब चीज़ें अपने भीतर जमा कर रहा हूँ। लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम वो जमा हो रही है मेरे जानने के बावजूद। तो मैं ये भी जानता हूँ कि उसको बहुत इजीली, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है पत्थर भी मैंने ही पकड़ के रखा है, मुझे सिर्फ छोड़ना है उसको, तो वो इजीली कहीं अपना रास्ता खोज लेगा और चला जाएगा। तो बस मैं वो छोड़ नहीं पाऊँ।
वो हेवीनेस नहीं जा रही है, उसको एक्सट्रीम हेवीनेस इमेजिन कीजिए। व्हाट्स द एक्सपीरियंस? एक्सट्रीमली हेवी, इससे ज़्यादा हेवी भारी हो ही नहीं सकता।
वो है एक्चुअली। तो मैं उसको निकालने के लिए मैं मार्ग खोजता हूँ।
नहीं निकल रहा है, वो नहीं निकल रहा
नहीं, वही हो रहा है, वो नहीं निकल रहा।
है। तो क्या अनुभव है? मैंने
तो
बहुत
और ज्यादा वो उसको निकालने का भी कोशिश, और ज्यादा अपने साथ वजन लेके आता ना, क्योंकि मैं निकालना चाहता हूँ। तो फिर गुस्सा बढ़ गया ना कि वो नहीं निकल रहा है, और मैं जानता भी हूँ कि वो कैसे निकालना है, फिर भी वो नहीं निकल रहा। या मैं गलत जगह जान के गलत जगह मेहनत कर।
So basically, he's saying that the effort of even removing this outside is also causing so much more heaviness. Yeah, and I know I just have to let go of it, but I'm just unable to let go. So in the interest of time, we'll read a little bit and not just go with the video. When he says then the anger increases, it doesn't come out, but if it comes out, there will be destruction. It's like volcano. It's not like tying a bomb to my body and there will be destruction and 1,000 people will die. It's not like that. It's like something from my body will come out like a nuclear weapon. It will blast and everything will be destroyed. There will be a blast and everything has to start from new. A new world, a fresh start. I try to remove it from different sources. I use meditation, I use art, I use writing, but I'm unable to do it. Yeah, we'll skip this video.
Yeah.
There's some
chats.
Okay, there are a lot of chats. I don't know. Okay, let's. People already know the remedy. Huh? Very nice.
So we asked, what is happening in this moment? This I think we discussed. Yeah. So we asked.
So we are fast forwarding this a little bit, yeah, because
Yeah.
this process can be very intense.
So there is. He experiences that there is a lot of tension and the pressure inside. Something elastic is keeping it stretching, and it's pulling in the other direction. On the surface, it is smooth and calm, but internally, it is tight. Everything is captured. The weight is moving. It wants to break free, go up and down, but can't go. And there is a barrier. And then slowly, it is becoming a liquid. This tension, this pressure is releasing, liquefying. And now it's a liquid from the very center of my chest. The pressure of the stone is dipping, drop by drop by drop. And that liquid,
So in this process, no, I mean, first we are having a conversation is either over. Then if you heard in the video at one point, we told him that close your eyes and see that if this is extreme pressure, which you are not able to release, what is the experience of it? That means we are trying to take him to the peak of this experience with closed eyes, and then what comes out. Normally, you could also say what is the opposite of what you felt. Yeah, that is another way. But what is the maximum? There is no way out. Beyond, you can't do anything about this. What is the maximum that you feel? And once you bring that patient in that energy zone, then automatically, not just the experience comes out, but automatically healing also begins from that key point. Yeah, to reach that key point is important. So, I mean, that's how the pressure, tension. Now, suddenly the pressure is releasing. So, that means you know that the patient has already begun himself his own healing journey.
so now he's talking about during this process, he's talking about this liquid, that this is black in color. It's very hot. The stone is still hanging with the threads, but it is liquefying. And it's spreading to the surface and destroying everything. It's black in color and maybe reddish, covered with the surface of stone. I can feel it, the heat, the melting. It's shiny and smooth surface. Yeah, so he actually spoke about this with closed eyes. The stone is still there, the
So
tightness
say,
is
just stay with this, look
Yeah.
inside, be with this.
and talk about it. Yeah, so he talk about this. The tightness is releasing. I can feel it is releasing drop by drop. Wherever it's touching, that part is getting destroyed. It has made all living things into non-living, destroyed that place completely, and the whole surface is covered with a black ash everywhere. It is all black, and there is smoke. And this, so we further continue this process of healing as we spoke about. And now the liquid gas has gone. The stone is still there, but it's not as heavy as it was before. There are signs of destruction, but there is no more dripping, no more liquid. How are you feeling it right now? Feeling of lightness and relax. I feel this with the meditation as well, what he does. There are some moments where there is nothingness. Right now, there is nothingness. So we wanted him to experience this nothingness and this healing technique more. So we asked, tell more about this experience. That on the face there is no tension. My face is happy, and I'm feeling happy internally too. And I'm feeling very light. There's a garden, butterflies, birds, rivers, stones of different colors, which is coming in the experience of this. Clean water. There are no humans, only different types of trees and plants. No animals too. It's colorful, lot of colors. Not going anywhere, not coming or going. I'm just feeling that I'm sitting there and experiencing this. I'm just flowing. There are butterflies. I see butterflies. There's no sadness on this in this picture. Only this garden. There's birds and butterflies. Unique stones and rocks. Lot of greenery around. It is stable and nothing changes. And I'm just watching, sitting. Yeah. And this was the whole case and the experience.
So Remedy, I think everybody knows we went to the source, isn't it? Okay, so there is Hekla lava, class 3 plant. Okay, let's see. We'll look at the rubrics. Yeah, we'll come to that. So let's go stepwise. The main things were indignation. Agreed. Cannot support injustice. Agreed. Tell us anywhere if you observe. Anger, violent, tremendous intensity of anger. Anger, violent, pressurized. There is a build up and finally it will explode. Cannot tolerate contradiction. Suddenly exploding and coming out. Then there were themes of heaviness, constriction, pressure. And in the end, in the healing stage, we came to lightness, colors, meditation, flowing, all of that. Isn't it? Agreed? So, these are the themes of Hekla lava. Okay, you look at this black ash. Okay, look at if you look at the lava, there will be smooth, shiny surface. Yeah. So there is this proving that is beautifully written, and the proving was done by Dr. Mahendra Singh. Okay, and let's look at some of the things that came out in the proving. So this crude substance, if you see, uh, it comes from the ash from Mount Hekla. Okay, so the volcano that is there from Mount Hekla, the finer ash which kind of got deposited in distant places, from that ash this medicine is made of. Okay, all the animals that are grazing in the surrounding region, that also kind of consumed it, and a lot of toxic symptoms were also developed by those animals. Okay, this Mount Hekla is located in Iceland. Okay, and some of the details that are captured here are available for you to see. And if you see, one of the key elements of this ash is the fluoride. The ash which is actually tephra, airborne volcanic ejects, absorbs when cooling from 1600 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then when it cools, fluoride and gaseous silica start settling on its surface. The delicate particles are blown away further, and since that has a larger surface to get deposited upon it, these particles become bigger, and there's a lot of fluoride and a lot of silica that gets deposited inside this. Okay. So if you see in the proving also and in this remedy, a lot of themes of crystals on teeth. I mean, a lot of destruction and syphilitic features are coming, and there's destruction of teeth and a lot of caries and a lot of destruction in stomach and intestines that comes in this particular remedy. Okay, and a lot of issues with bone. So lava and tephra contain large amount of this quartz, that is silica oxide. So silica is there, calcium is there, magnesium is there, aluminium is there, iron oxide is there. It's like a combination of all these multiple things. Okay. So the clinical experience has shown that Hekla lava has the power to arrest a lot of these bone diseases, lot of osteosarcoma, scrofulous and syphilitic osteitis. So lot of these syphilitic bone destructive tendencies. Okay, it is also good remedy for swelling of the glands and calcaneal spot. So it's an anti-syphilitic medicine, and a lot of themes of anti-syphilitic, I mean from syphilitic myasm you see. So there's a lot of loathing of life, lack of ambition and motivation. Did you see that in our patient? Missing driving force in combination with lack of capacity, thus indicating that Hekla lava could also possibly use in old people, yeah, who lose drive, who lose all their ambition, who start loathing life, so in very terminal diseases like Alzheimer's and things like that, you could start thinking of Hekla. There's a lot of absent-mindedness, confusion, depressive tendencies, lot of severe pains and deep bone pains and aggravation. Some of these what do you say, rubrics, if you see, these are mainly indications, clinical indications of Hekla lava that you see from Clark. Okay, so all of this we already spoke about. Also, if you see themes of Hekla lava you can just do reverse repertory, and in mind, if you see, there's a lot of abruptness, anger ailments from, anger violent, contradiction intolerant of, excitement ailments from, indignation ailments from, injustice cannot tolerate, obstinate headstrong, shock ailments from, violent vehemence. Most of these things were there in the patient, yeah. And then for a few more, if you read from Lily's notes, etc., lot of helplessness, lot of indignation, forsaken, intolerance, obstinate, offensive, lot of sensitivity. So sensitivity like a plant, everything, you could think of Staphylos aureus, you could think of remedies like that, you could think of causticum at one point. So lot of sensitivity, you could think of hemamilite because of these opposite polarities also. But at the same time, the themes of indignation and such violent anger, which is suppressed and which is going to be blown out of proportion. Okay, so how would we differentiate hemamilis? Heavy constriction, tightness, light and colors. So this you'll have to still we actually reached the source. So for us it was very easy. But you in practice, every patient may not go to the source. So for you, the differentiation for us would come from hemamilide, lot of causticum-like features, no sympathetic, strong sense of injustice, lack of ambition, yeah, and a lot of aurum-like features are also coming, no hopelessness, antisocial behavior, and desire for belonging. So these are some remedies or group of remedies with which you will have to differentiate. Okay, now you could believe us that the patient was better But we also have the patient telling us
चंद दिनों पहले हीलिंग हार्मोनी में अपनी ट्रीटमेंट करवाई थी। मेरे कुछ इश्यूज थे पिछले 1.5 सालों से, जिनसे कि मैं बाहर नहीं आ पा रहा था। मेरे मन में बहुत सारे द्वंद्व थे जिन्होंने मुझे उलझा के रखा हुआ था जीवन
I'm going
में।
to skip that and I'm going to ask you to trust us that the patient really felt better. I just want you all to just spend a couple of minutes in seeing this lava flow.
Below the ocean's floor. This lava has flowed non-stop for 25
So if you see, there is shiny black surface. Look at this.
years.
Exactly what the patient told.
On the lower slopes, the lava travels at less than 100 meters an hour, betraying little of its awesome power. Nothing can survive this smoldering blanket.
And nothing can survive this. Nothing can survive this. No death and destruction. Wherever it touches, it's going to destroy. And once this goes through, new life will emerge. A new growth will emerge. Isn't it? But this phenomena exactly describing the source. Death and destruction. I will destroy countries and countries. Wherever I will hit, there will be only death and destruction.
The advance is relentless and unpredictable, changing direction without.
And the lava is, the way it's flowing is also unpredictable, changing its direction all the time. So all of these features are very key. And you know, this is a little bit about Hekla lava. I just want to see if there are any questions before. Potency, I think we used 200, whatever potency was available. It's not easy to find it, the remedy. So we found 200 and we used 200.
Ma'am, there were many questions regarding the repetition of radium brom and uranium nitricum, ma'am.
There is a question on uranium nitricum and radium brom. What?
Repetition, ma'am.
Repetition. So radium brom we had repeated frequently at times in the beginning, also daily. Then it became once in a week. Yeah, so initially it was daily repetition. Uranium nitricum is 30. When you're using it with chemo cycles, just before the chemo cycle starts, you can give the patient one dose. And during the cycle, okay, once the chemo starts, depending on how severe the side effects are, you decide how much you want to repeat. Yeah. So if there are lots of symptoms, you repeat as the need may be. Yeah, but
Okay.
give one dose before the cycle starts.
Okay, ma'am. Participants, if you have any queries, please drop them in the chat box. Ma'am, I think there are no queries, ma'am.
Okay. So, Dr. Amisha there was also telling about, so there's a lot of sensitivity in this last patient, and she said something about hand gestures. No? So another thing is that when you see a lot of hand gestures, you should think of the plant kingdom. Oftentimes, plant kingdom remedies will use a lot of hand gestures. But in this case, we reached the source, no? Then we didn't have to really think of. If we had to think of a planet kingdom, then we would have thought of phenomenon. But it was very clear that it was Hekla. Yeah, he went to the source and described the whole thing.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, there are some queries like to suggest some books, ma'am.
So basically, reference works, if you have macropathy, it will have everything. But if you want to just read basic, Patak's Materia Medica is one book we definitely kind of recommend. Another thing is maybe I can share with Dr. Deepu and team, the Hekla Lava notes, it's a proving that is available, and that PDF document can be shared with all of you guys. So not a lot of information of Hekla Lava is otherwise available. For uranium nitricum, you should read Dr. Sujit Chatterjee's proving. Radium brome is widely available. Lot of material, everything from Allen's Encyclopedia to Patak to everybody, Boric, Kent, everybody talks about, yeah, everything talks about radium.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Vinodini, there are some questions in the YouTube.
Okay.
You can check it.
So while if you allow, I just wanted to end. I mean, are there more questions? Otherwise, before ending the session, I wanted to leave you all with something to think and ponder. Yeah, but we'll wait for a couple
Yes,
for your.
ma'am. Actually, we have some queries in the YouTube. I think. Just wait a moment, ma'am. I think. What do you recommend for? Okay, it is a specific question. What do you recommend for gastric cancer?
Okay, so we don't recommend anything for gastric cancer.
I
We
know.
recommend you take the case and then prescribe. Yeah.
I think through Dr. Jyoti ma'am, Jyoti Udupi ma'am, we got your contact. So I think she's a co-host now. Ma'am, are you there? Dr. Jyoti ma'am?
And yeah. Hi, Dr. Deepo. Hi, Dr. Preeti
Yeah.
and Dr. Prajakta.
Hi, Dr. Jyoti.
See, I always look forward first and third Saturdays to attend this wonderful webinar these people conduct. Although I am much senior practitioner, but I am learning a lot, and they're encourage me to read and learn more. Thank you. So whoever wants more information, you please attend their musings. It is really worth attending. So that is the reason, Dr. Deepu, I suggested these doctors for today's session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dr. Jyoti is very kind, very humble, always encourages us. But the truth is that we are learning from her. Yeah. So she is a treasure trove of a lot of homeopathic knowledge.
Thank you, thank you. So I think Vinodini, there are no more doubts now.
No, sir.
Okay. So Dr. Preeti and
Ma'am, there
Dr.
was one message in my private chat box, like how to attend your homeo musings.
How to
attend homeo musings, ma'am?
Okay, so you could reach out to us on homeopathymusings@gmail.com or just visit our website www.healingharmony.in. Yeah, I'm just typing it over here in the chat box for you.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sir?
So thank you once again, Dr.
Actually, Dr. Preeti, you are telling about something now. Before you leave, something you wanted to show.
Yeah. So I want
can
to
go.
share this one. See, we were speaking about rare remedies, no? And we started our today's session with molybdenum, which is a Ro-Fi series. So I think, and I hope all of you all agree that as we grow in our practice, we are trying to refine and polish our knowledge and how we are healing our patients. It's a very Ro-Fi quality, isn't it? So rare remedies is also, when you start your practice, you want to make sure you're giving all the constitutional remedies, all the polycrest, etc. Yeah. But as you grow, your desire to learn from different masters, from different homeopathic methods and different materia medicas and rare remedies, that learning desire and that refining your knowledge is a very Ro-Fi quality. So I wanted to leave with this message, ask you all to leave today's forum to, bring this little bit of Ro-Fi-ness, because homeopathy is all about creativity. It's all about learning, isn't it? So I wanted to ask you all to leave with that and to showcase that a little bit. I'm going to play this little video and it is of a maestro, Zakir Hussain. And just a little 5-minute video clip of that entire series. It was an interview with him, and it talks about how he became, what he is right now. I think it's very inspiring, and it's going to bring out the best in us. Yeah. So for those who have time, just stick around for another 5 minutes. And it's one of very encouraging videos that I've come across. Just have a look at that, and we can then end. Okay.
Between Fazal and between Tawfiq, that happened. Someone like my father did not have to go looking for me. We happened to be in the same area. It could have gone either way. It has happened with great masters where their sons have or daughters have chosen another way. And with me, it could have easily been that way. But for some reason, it did not. And I think part of the reason is because maybe by design or just by accident, the idea of being a tabla student was not forced upon me. I was not put through the rigors on a regular basis. 9 to 5, you have to do this every day. 1 hour of Teka, 1 hour of Qaida, 1 hour of this or whatever. I was left to my own device to do whatever I was doing. It was probably because he was too busy and did not have time to be able.
So, just to give you, for those who don't know, Zakir Hussain, Ustad Zakir Hussain's father himself was a very, very great, renowned master and a tabla player. Yeah. So, what Zakir is now saying also, what Ustadji is saying, is he's saying that this was something that was not forced upon me, which is also a Ro-Fi quality. Yeah. They can't, they need freedom and they need independence. So, this also is a Ro-Fi quality. And then see what he's
able to devote that kind of focus on me. And whenever he was home, there were always so many other people around that it was difficult for him to single me out. But somehow the information was being transmitted. Somehow it was coming. I have to say, I said, I think on that day when we were doing the Riyaz seminar, how do you get to a point whereby you are able to now listen to a master give you information and you are able to actually absorb it and analyze it and have the ability to be able to understand it? You need to get to that point. I have many examples where students were already aware performers of the art form before they actually tied ganda to their guru, with their guru. How did that happen? And why was it that those students were already cast in the image of the guru they finally connected with? How did that happen? You never know. Why is it that Pandit Ravi Shankar ended up with in the direction of where I needed to be able to be the listener that I should with my father, Guru. I was being guided into that zone or into that place where I was able to have enough tools as a listener, as an observer, an absorber, to be able to sit in his presence and take the knowledge. I mean, what is a guru? A guru is a fast-flowing river, And it's up to the student to be able to either take a cup of water from there or a bucket of water from there. So I was there, and I had to be in a place and point where I could inspire him to be able to transmit the information to me. It isn't that because I am his son and that he had to give me that information. That was never the idea between us, or between Fazal and between Tawfiq. The information had to be inspired from him. The teacher never teaches, the student always learns. The student extracts the information, takes the cup of water or a bucket of water from the river. So that inspiration had to come, and it did, at a point where one day he actually took me to a performance. And in the middle of a performance, he looked at me. I was sitting behind him and said, "Bajayega?" I was 7 years old. So, "Bajayega?" "Haan, bajaunga." I mean, neki or pooch. And so he said, "Teen taal pata hai?" "Haan, pata hai." "Acha, bajao." So I sat down and started playing Teka. Later on, 20 years down the road, I confirmed with the artist that I was playing with, and I almost died of embarrassment and fright that I was sitting there at 7 years of age playing Teka with Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. So when I checked with Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab that this is what I was told, he said, "Yes, that's true. It was at the press club. I used to be at Churchgate or something." And so anyway, so I played, and that was the spark, that was the inspiration that my father needed to be able to open up and transmit information to me. From that night onwards, it was, he would go wherever he had to go, play a concert or do a recording, and come home at late night. And it usually would be with musicians. I remember a couple of times it was Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab who came back home with him. "Bhabhi, zara khana banana, kuch bhook lagi hai." So my mother's cooking and all that. In the meantime, "Baitho, acha, Teka padho." Ye hota tha, "Acha, padho." And you kept reading and you kept reciting and you kept reading and you kept reciting. And then at times he would just say something like, "Okay, here's this. Trigritkada ghentada. Ab iski tihai banao, teen taal mein." Now, I'm 7, but the confidence in him was that he had seen that spark, that I may have the ability to be able to see my way through. And this teaching was at that point not designed to, this is A, B, C, D, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, whatever it is. But it was more like, take this and find your way there. And that's what our music is all about. Our music is to be able to take the information you have and then be able to arrange it in any combination and permutation to be able to make not only sense out of it, but to be able to create a vision that has your stamp on it, which is a very important part of our music. It's a very special part, and also I will touch on a contradiction that it creates. That's later. But his vision was that don't just keep repeating.
So that is inspiring. Just take this and try your way through it. That is row 5: the learning, the guidance, the skill, and to be able to sail through, with whatever you have in hand. creatively. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing actually, you know. It was a nice, very nice session. I think people are enjoyed it. We have more than 167 participants were there. Now I think Dr. Prajakta is happy. She was telling so much anxious about the participants, but you know, this will be in YouTube for, I think more people will watch it, and we are really happy to be you both with us. So thank you so much. On
Thank
behalf
you.
of IHM Piravam, we express our sincere gratitude to you both, and we wish you all success, and let you people do more webinars, and we also invite you for further sessions. And thank you, Jyoti Udupi ma'am, for introducing these faculties to us. And thank you all the doctors who joined us in Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. Once again, it is this is our last week for these daily webinars. So kindly be with us. Thank you so much, and thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night. Take care, all of you.